Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. My name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. I'm super excited for today's video because I talk a lot about mindset and mental health tips. And this is something that you might think is more of like a chore to do, but you'd be surprised at how healing it is. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 10 steps to reset your environment to heal your mental health. There's a few things going on here. So if you work from home full time, where you live, where you work from home is going to be so important to make sure it's a clean space, to make sure it is somewhere that helps your mental health in all different ways. And I'll talk about like all the steps to do that. Another thing is like if you're going to work every day and you come home, you also want your environment, whether it's at work or whether it's at home, to be supportive of your mental health and overall well-being. Specifically in this video, we are going to be talking about mostly resetting, cleaning, different things to add into your healthy habits every week in terms of being in your home. But definitely take a look at your work life, your work environment, whether it's an office, and see how that can be playing into your mental health too. If it's a cubicle, you might want to see if you can sit maybe like close to a window so the sun can come in and you can get that natural vitamin D. Maybe you have coworkers that maybe you don't love or talk too much. Maybe it's something like making sure you're putting on headphones or setting different kinds of boundaries. So even though in this video we won't be talking a ton about like going into an office or the work environment, we'll be talking about mostly in the house, definitely sit down and take a look at that and see how that could be helping or hurting your mental health. Because if you're working 40-ish hours a week, whether it's more or less, think about how much of your life that is. So we definitely want to take that into account when looking at overall healing your mental health. So let's get started. Okay, one of the first places I want to start is to have a weekly dedicated cleaning day. This is so important to make sure your space gets a full deep clean every single week. For me and for a lot of people, the easiest day to do that is Sunday. Sunday afternoon / getting into like Sunday night is when I really want to make this house so super clean to wake up and feel so fresh for the full new week and not thinking or worrying about cleaning anything deep like vacuuming and mopping and dusting. You don't have to think about any of that. You can just focus on work. You can focus on being creative or taking care of your family. So if you have roommates or a partner, I live with Gregory, my boyfriend, you definitely want to be able to have those conversations in the sense of who's going to do what cleaning, who's going to help out, does a certain dedicated day work for both of us, we can do it together. I used to live in college with like 7 other girls and we would have a dedicated cleaning day too. We'd have all different areas that we would have to clean, we would rotate. So this has worked for me for a really long time. In terms of different spaces, so now that we have a bigger place, I'm so surprised. It does take a lot more time to clean it. And I give Gregory the jobs that I don't want to do because he really doesn't mind. But again, like have that conversation, see what you guys want to do. I don't like to do bathrooms, toilets, take the trash out, so he doesn't mind doing that. Meanwhile, I'll vacuum, Swiffer. We both change the sheets together every week. We switch on and off with the dishes, and we both help with the laundry as well. So there's a lot of stuff to get done in a household, and to make sure you can keep up and stay on top of it, it's helpful to kind of break it down into different chores or categories or deciding what you guys want to do. Today over here is actually Saturday. I usually have my dedicated cleaning day on Sunday like I just talked about, but today we're gonna have some guests over, so I definitely want to make sure our place looks clean. Probably tomorrow I'll do things like changing the sheets and stuff, so you can definitely break it down into Saturday and Sunday. Like for me, it takes like maybe 2 to 3 hours to clean everything, but I get like really in depth. So far this morning, I cleaned out the fridge, and usually we do grocery shopping on Monday, so I'll show you guys on Monday when we get new food and stuff how I prepare it in certain bins. I make sure everything is washed before it's put in the fridge, so I'll show you guys that later on. But every Sunday before we have grocery shopping on Monday, I have to make sure the fridge is cleaned out. Do not bring in new food when you have leftovers that have been in there for over a week, when you have rotting food that you're not going to eat. I am all about buying what you're going to eat that week, not buying so much in excess. Of course, we have a few pantry stacked up items like extra beans and pasta and some cereal and baking items as well, like flour, but I really hate buying so much food because that's when like you're not gonna eat it, and that's when food is gonna be wasted. So once a week, definitely make sure you clean out the fridge. Since I did that this morning, I cleaned like all the dishes. There's a ton of Tupperware and stuff over here that we just had all our leftovers in. Clean out your fridge and then take out the garbage. You do not want that food smelling. You'd be surprised at how clutter in your house or even clutter in your fridge clutters your mind, and that's why this video is all about cleaning up your environment to heal your mental health. It is really hard to thrive in a place that's dirty, a place that's cluttered, somewhere where you look around and it's messy or overwhelming. It is hard as a baseline to thrive there, especially if you struggle at all with any kind of mental health, anxiety, depression, anything else. For me, I talked about before how I've worked through a lot of my anxiety, but I do find like if I'm not cleaning, if things aren't clean, I feel more anxious. And so for me, all of these steps are really important, so I hope they help you too. A big tip when you're cleaning is to not make it such a big deal. What I like to do is put on a podcast or an audiobook and just enjoy. This is the time where I get to like listen to a book or learn something new or enjoy just a podcast or something like that. But turn this into a fun time. Don't go around vacuuming, dusting, thinking this is the worst thing in the world. Think about how it's impacting your life, how it's increasing everything, productivity, happiness, probably motivation too. If you look around your place is clean, you're like, check, what's next? When next do I get to do? Okay, so I'm doing a little bit of a fast forward to Monday. We just got our groceries. We still do a lot of our food shopping at Whole Foods, but my big tip here is to prep your groceries before you put them away. So we get a lot of fruits, veggies, fresh food, and produce. So in order to eat these things, they have to be washed. Even if you're buying organic produce, unfortunately, they're still using some kind of pesticides, and we specifically use our Kangen machine. We use the 11.5 pH. It's very strong alkaline water, and it literally emulsifies all the oils and pesticides. So we soak all of our fruits and veggies for at least 20 minutes each, and then we rinse them off with 9.5 pH water. So we make sure we prep all of our produce to make sure we can just go in the fridge and grab whatever we need, whether it's a snack, like I have mini cucumbers here, or whether I need these mushrooms to go ahead and cook my dinner. The last thing that you want to do, especially when you're cooking, is to have to go and wash and prep something. Next, I wash out my food storage containers. So these I just bought on Amazon. I'll link them below. But I love using these storage containers for a few things. It's very clear to see where everything is in terms of where your food is, but also I've seen that your produce lasts longer in these. So a lot of these things like mini cucumbers, peppers, yellow squash I have there too, they'll last up to like 2 weeks, and without putting them in these containers, they'll last maybe like 1 week in the fridge by themselves. So every single week before I put away the food, I make sure I wash them, just because you don't want any like old residue, bacteria. You don't want anything that's old on them, so give them a good wash. I have a few different sizes, but make sure you do not put them in the dishwasher. One time a lid was put in there on accident, and now it's a little warped, so it's hard to put it on. All right, here's everything cleaned, washed, and put away. I have just like a bunch of big produce, fruits, and veggies in here. I have in here all my mini cucumbers. I like to eat these with hummus or cut them up, slice them up, put them on a Buddha bowl or salad. And then some greens here, green onions, broccoli. I'm going to use these mushrooms tonight, so I just left them out. And then the grapes, I didn't have another container to put them in, so these are just easy to leave out in the fridge and just grab them if you want some. The next thing I want to talk about is your workspace, whether it's home or an office. It is so important to keep it clean, but also for me, I think it's so important to sit in front of the sun. Like if you can move your desk around or where you're sitting in front of the sun is like such a good feeling. And it's 10:47 right now in the morning. I get this morning sun until the early afternoon, and sometimes I'll even lift up like the blinds all the way, open up the window if it's not extremely cold outside. So if you haven't yet, try sitting in front of the sun when you work. Another thing is, as you can see, I keep my desk area very clean. I have just my keyboard and my laptop stand. I put my laptop on. Sometimes I use a mouse right next to it. And then to the left, I have like a few other extras that I use every single day. So like Aquaphor, lotion, scissors, my notebook, this reed diffuser that one of my best friends got me, a note from Greg that says, "Have a great day, I love you." So I love looking at that. And then this I actually use when I'm working on my phone. And then I have these drawers right next to it. Like up top is all the supplements I like to take every day. This thing I got actually on Amazon. Hello, Mushu. That's actually Mushu's bed I tucked away, but usually I put his bed out so he can sleep on it next to me while I'm working. So definitely try and make sure your workspace is pretty clean. And I'll link these drawers down below in the description in case you guys need something like this for your office too. Lastly, I think it's so fun to have like this whiteboard slash corkboard right next to my desk. I have "You Are Limitless," so if you have any kind of like nice quotes or sayings or positive affirmations, it is beautiful to put right next to your working, somewhere you're looking every day. I have immediate to-dos I need to get done, and then also to get is more so for like groceries. Say like I'm cooking and I run out of olive oil, let's write this down real quick, and that's why I keep a few markers here. I also have a fortune cookie saying that I got actually back in January. I was having Chinese food with my grandma, and it says a new environment makes all the difference in the world, and it was just so beautiful because I just moved here, and sometimes like your fortunes don't always make sense in fortune cookies, but that one really was beautiful for me. And then also I have a note from actually Greg's mom. It says, "May the new year be filled with wishes come true, love you, Shannon." So any kind of like little notes or sayings, and especially like your to-dos, I think it's really perfect to put just right next to your desk so you can look at that every day. Something fun you can do to clean the air naturally in your home, in your environment, you can even do this in your office, is to add some plants. So you guys saw my last video, my new plants that I got, but let me show you where I put them. So of course my Easter stuff is still out, but look at this guy thriving in the sun. So beautiful. And this is where we eat dinner, so it's very nice. I love to have it right there. And then right to the left we have my snake plant, and I did find this outside. I realized I did have like a stand for it, and this is super fun, vibrant, right next to my bookshelf, and also leading into the living room as well. One of the last plants I got sits right over here, cleaning the air naturally. And then my AeroGarden and succulents sit over here. Down here I have like workout stuff, extra actually like camera stuff that I need, batteries, whatnot, but my succulents and AeroGarden sit there. So add some plants. Not only is that like a fun hobby, at least for me, to go pick the plants out, pot them, get new pots to put them in, but it's also doing yourself a favor by cleaning the air. Next, I want to talk about something that people tend to overlook. It's really fun and it's really important because there are little mites called dust mites that you can't even see that are everywhere. And if you don't dust and you don't clean, they are literally eating your dead skin, and I'm so sorry to say that. Literally Google dust mites. It's really awful. It's actually making me itch right now because I'm super allergic to dust mites, I found out from like an allergy test. And that's why, especially for people who have like more allergies to things, it is so important to change your sheets like at least once a week, dust at least once a week, vacuum. And I want to show you guys what I use for dusting. It's actually this really cool contraption. It's actually just a Swiffer thing, so I use these Swiffer dusters, and you just put it on the end like this, and then you go to town. There you go. Go Swiffer your fans, go Swiffer above doorways. Like I can literally see there's something up here. For whatever these random things are in the ceiling, collect all of that dust. So I'll link this below as well if you guys are interested in using something for dusting. Okay, moving into more bedroom specific tips to clean up your environment to heal your mental health. I want to talk about nightstands. Nightstands are so important and they can get cluttered so easily, but also it's super important to make your bed super cozy, super comfy, however that looks to you, whether it's one pillow or 400. Make sure it's comfortable for you so you can always get a good night's sleep. But in terms of nightstands, Greg and I both have like the same lamp. It's a matching lamp. And then I over here have like all my crystals and my shells, like things that I like to collect. And then just a simple clock, so if I need to look over and see what time it is. And then we both have a picture of us. And I put my jewelry here just because it is simple. Like I put my necklaces here. It's simple, it's not taking up too much space. And then this does have 2 drawers here. So definitely get a nightstand where you can put stuff away so you don't see it, so you can like go to bed with a clear mind. Lastly, in order to keep up with all of this, to make sure that your space is clean and cleansed, every night before you go to bed, take 10 to 15 minutes and clean up, whether it's dirty clothes from the day or whether it's dishes. Try to reset your space every night because it's going to make such a big difference, and those Sunday weekly cleans won't be so big. They'll just be focusing on deep cleaning. I even like to do laundry during the week, so laundry is not one of my big things to do on the weekend. So I hope that these tips help you. If you do any of these tips already, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with someone that you think that might be helpful for them. And like always, I'll see you guys back here next Wednesday.